What's up, y'all? It's me, Samaya Goldsmith, also known as Samaya G. I am the host of S.E.L.F podcast. Self is self, enduring to embrace life's fulfillment. This podcast is to talk about everything in life, whether that's spirituality, healing, growing, evolving, and also helping others to realize and understand what the fulfillment of life has to offer whenever you make the best of it. And I'm super excited to be filming this, and if you're hearing this, thank you so much, and if you're watching, thank you. Y'all, I was a little nervous, but you know, God is in control. This podcast has been in the works for a while now, and I'm acting on it now, and I believe that this was my season for it to completely be out there for the world to listen to, and I'm excited about it. I really am excited. I am going to be telling y'all my testimony. I feel like this would be a good opener for the podcast for others to get a better understanding of who I am, and yeah, so I'm excited. I'm so excited to be doing this. Before we get into this video or audio, if you're listening, I want to let y'all know that, trigger warning, I will be talking about mental health, depression, anxiety, and suicide. So just wanted to let y'all know so y'all won't be rubbed the wrong way if you are listening to this. Okay, so I have my phone here, and because I have notes that I have, and yeah, I told y'all who I was, what my podcast is about, what God is doing in my life. I honestly know for a fact that God is just allowing me and putting me more into my purpose and allowing me to be a vessel to bring souls into the kingdom. And before I do go in depth of my story, I really pray that this podcast is edifying. I've prayed for you guys. I want you guys to know that you're not alone, and I pray that it brings you clarity, understanding, and again, to edify you in every way possible. Also, I wanted to do this testimony because my testimony is truth. It's nothing but truth within my testimony, and I'm really excited to share that story. So I've done a lot of rambling, so let's just get right into it. So my name is Samaya. I am 23 years old. I'll be 24 in April. I've lived in Florida my whole entire life. I live in a small town here in Florida. Grew up here. My mom was a single mom her entire life. It was me, my sister who passed away, rest in heaven, and my little sister Sophia. Y'all, that's my dog. That's my dog for sure, okay? I love me some Sophia. So before my little sister came into the picture, it was just me, my mom, and my sister who passed away. Again, my mom was a single mom. She done everything by herself. I had an absent father, dad. My pops was not in the picture at the time, or even now, it's still not in the picture. So from the time I can remember as a child, everything was pretty good. Everything was pretty good. My mom was pregnant at 16, had me at 17, and was pregnant with my sister at 19, and had her at 20, the one who passed away. She had her at 20 years old. And again, life was pretty jolly. Life was pretty good. It was really, really good. And my mom did her best as a single mom to do the best that she can and raise us the best that she knew how. And so from that time, I would say from a little girl until, well, honestly, let me backtrack, because I do want to put out there, I grew up in the church. Since I was a little girl, honey, I was in the church. I was in the church. My mom was in the church as well. Whenever I grew up, I would say that, yeah, at the time, I would say that it was lukewarm. And I was listening to one of this girl's podcasts, and she had mentioned lukewarm too. And she had brought up that the definition of lukewarm is hot. And that was so profound to me, because as Christians, we're supposed to be on fire for God. There is no in between. There is no hot or cold. Either you hot and that's it, okay? And that's it, and that's all. But so growing up, I would say it was kind of lukewarm. Only because I just feel like some things growing up wasn't how, for example, like my mom, some of the things weren't displayed as like hot on Christian, you know what I mean? And so that's why I said it was lukewarm. But that's okay, because she's in a place now to where she's on fire for God, and we're all like that. I'm not just pointing fingers at her. We all have our moments and stuff like that. And she had her season what she was in, and now she's at a place now to where she's all in for God and committed 100%. And so again, life was pretty good. I would say around, I want to say around 13, 14, my life changed drastically. It was an accident that happened. I lost my sister, and that was a very trying time for me. But before I get into that, I do want to backtrack and say that during elementary school, school was great, had good grades in elementary school, and then fast forward to middle school was good. And then that's when middle school, I lost my best friend. I lost my sister during that time, and it was pretty hard. It was really, really hard, and that forced me to grow up faster than I expected to, because everything has to happen so drastically, and it caught me by surprise. But during that time, school was good, you know. Life was good. I was forced to grow up faster, and was never able to heal and have that grieving process during the time of losing my sister. But yeah, I'm trying not to get in that moment, but I know it's okay to have that moment. But I want to go over a few more things as well too. Also, going back to my absent pops, he was never really in the picture. He would pop up here and there, give me a couple dollars, ice cream and all that. But as far as having a father figure in my life, I've never had that. I can say that as I continue to grow older, I realized that I had abandonment issues, which was really hard, because baby, it was hard. It was hard for me. And just to see how I was like treated as, you know, a daughter, it hurt me to the core. But for example, like I'll just say one time, you know, again, absent father, and I was the one always reaching out, trying to get in contact and all those things. And an incident just happened to where he just drove off on me in the parking lot, you know, me just trying to have a conversation, you know, and the way he came at me hurt me to the point, like, whenever he drove off, I left, and I was literally so angry. I was banging on the horn. Like, I was so upset. I was filled with so much anger, because how can you, in my mind, I was like, how can you walk upon this earth knowing that you have a child and not even trying to build a relationship? So that right there really hurt me to the core. And I had to have a process of healing within that. But I'm better with that now, which is why I mean, I'm not gonna say it makes me angry anymore, because it doesn't, because I'm at a point now to where as I'm older, I understand a lot more. But it also, it's just like, dang, you know, because if I have a child one day, you know, that he won't be there to, you know, have his first grandchild, because I'm the oldest of all my siblings, or be at my wedding to walk me down the aisle, and we don't even talk. But that's a little bit of that on his behalf. In and out of prison a lot. So, well, in and out of jail a lot, but not prison, but in and out of jail a lot. And just an absent father that I'm still to this day don't know who he is for real as a person, genuinely, you know what I mean? But as far as that goes, life was good. My mom, y'all, I love my mom. My mom strived to do everything that she could to make something happen. Again, always took us to church every Saturday. Baby, was tired of church. Stop bringing me to church. I'm tired. I don't want to go to church, okay? But my mom made us go. Like, she went every Sunday. We went every Sunday, because at that time we had service Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays. So, baby, I was in the church, okay? I was in the church nonstop. And so, again, I grew up in the church. And then again, couple years later, 14, I lost my sister. That was a very, very hard time for me. High school, sorry. High school going forward. High school was good. I enjoyed all the activities. My mom never held anything like, no, you can't do this or that. I was able to do every sport. Now, I will say, whenever I was younger, she took cheerleading away from me. It was literally cheerleading. And I think it was because of not cleaning the room. It was something, but that right there really messed me up. And I can say my mom, it was kind of like poor punishment. Cause like, come on, you gonna take cheer away from me, bro? Like, really? You know I love cheering, you took it away from me. But other than that, I was able to do every activity in high school. I had a lot of friends in high school. And it was good. It was good. And during that time, I knew of God. And I knew, because again, I was raised in the church. I knew everything that I needed to know about God. But I wasn't following the principles. I wasn't following his word. I wasn't doing none of that. I was doing my own thing. And so, high school, it was good. Joined all the activities, homecoming court, all those fun things. And I want to say, let me see. Yeah, I was just trying to be grown, doing stuff I ain't had no business doing at that time. Hanging around certain people and engaging in things that I did not have no business engaging in. And then after high school, I was still doing everything that there was to do, just being a child. And then after high school, I lost some friends. And during that time, I felt alone, y'all. I felt alone. I really did. And only because at that point after high school, because you know how they say after high school you see who your true friends are, or you still got those same friends after high school. Me, that wasn't the case. And you know, I'm okay with that now, but before I was always around people. So after high school, to just work and not have other people to hang around, it was kind of like, dang, you know, I want friends. I want some good friends. And so I was loaning for friends, in a relationship, and I would say, let's see, 2022 was whenever I moved out of my mom's house and I got my own apartment. that didn't go. It went good for a while, but then some things had went on with my job, and then I had to eventually move out because of financial issues. But also too, if there wasn't financial issues, I still would have had to move out, because at that time I was making too much money. And too much money was $16 an hour. Let me just say that, because what was that? And you mean to tell me I can't live in this apartment even if I didn't have financial issues? But you know, I'm gonna let it slide. But after that, I will say 2022 in June is when I gave my life to Christ. I gave my life to Christ, and when I tell you, I can remember that day, y'all. I remember that night, let me just say. And again, because you know, in church, like, you do a dedication whenever you're newborn, and whenever you get like mid-age, you give your life to Christ and all that. But I had a rededicating my life back to Christ. I felt his presence. My camera cut off, but I felt his presence, and it was beautiful. It was so good. And yeah, it was just absolutely amazing to just feel God's presence over me, and just to rededicate my life back to him. So whenever I gave my life to Christ, you know, it's been good. It really has been good. I'm not gonna say I've been perfect during this journey. I've, you know, slacked off here and there, but I got back on track, and it's been for real. And I will say that let me see, the beginning of this year, because I talked about and telling y'all how I lost my sister, and just going through a lot of emotional things, and not really having someone to talk to, and it was just, it was hard, and I felt like I couldn't talk to certain people. So fast forward, February of 2023, I thought about just leaving. And when I say leaving, I'm saying not wanting to be here. And I know my mom may hear this or watch it and be like, girl, what? You know? But I found myself not wanting to be here because I did feel alone. And then I missed my sister. Like, just a lot of things that was going on. And so I thought about pulling the trigger, baby. And it was really tough for me. And so immediately when I felt that, I called my pastor, and there was a therapist, because the therapist that I have was the one who came during the time of, you know, whenever I lost my sister and stuff like that. And I think I was the first to reach out and ask for help, and that was the beginning of February 2023. And I've been in therapy. I haven't been in a while because I've been in a good place. I really have. But I know you don't just go to therapy whenever something's wrong. Therapy is just good in general. But yeah, in therapy, and she has helped me. I do have some coping mechanisms that I even do now, but I'm gonna get back into therapy, y'all. I am. But I did think about suicide whenever I was younger, around, I say 12 or 13. I was slitting my wrists, y'all. I would cut myself. I'm sorry, y'all. I would cut myself whenever I was younger. Yeah, I was going through a lot. And I always covered it up. And I know people look at me and be like, girl, you're always loud, always outgoing, all of those things. But y'all was going through some things, and I covered it up really easy because no one would ever know that girl. You thought about suicide, you was cutting your wrist when you were young, like you, yes, me, and I'm her. Not anymore. I was her. So I did that whenever I was young. And then again, I thought about committing suicide, and then after that, you know, still going through therapy and stuff, but you know, you still have those dark times, and it was to a point to where I was tired of feeling pain, and I felt like an easy way out was for me to overdose. And sometimes it's hard to talk about it, only because like me saying this out loud is like foreign, only because I've grown so much in the past couple of months that me talking about this is, I'm not that person that I used to be. Me talking about it is like me it coming from someone else, or mentioning, like, I don't know, but I'm not that person anymore. So hearing it out loud is like, what? Really? Yeah, I had thought about those things, and because I felt alone, I felt the enemy was really trying to get after me, and the enemy wanted me to just take my own life. And God said, not mine. God said, not my child. And so I am still here, and I'm thankful, alive, and blessed with the breath of life in my lungs and limbs to walk. And I'm so thankful that even in the midst of my dark times, that God still had his hands wrapped around me and said, no, daughter, you are mine. And I'm so thankful of how far I've come in these past couple of months. And I can say genuinely and honestly, because I'm gonna keep it a buck, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing whatsoever, and I can say that I've not thought about any suicidal thoughts or engaging in any idolations, like cutting or any of those things, or even just none of that, y'all. I can genuinely say that, because this podcast is simply to be completely unfiltered to the max. And again, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Ain't no cap in my rap. Ain't no cap in my rap. So then ever since then though, life has been good. I still have some tests and some trials, but I know that God is going to see me through. And yeah, I gave my life to Christ in June 2022, and it's been good. It's really been great, and I'm thankful for the transformation that God has had over my life. I've been transformed by the renewing of my mind, and I feel good, y'all. God is so good. To just see how much I've grown since then is just absolutely amazing. And I'm thankful for where I've come from. I am thankful for where I've come from, and I'm super excited for what God is going to continue to do in my life, because he's already doing some amazing thing. Like, this podcast here is not my podcast, it's God's. And I give all glory and honor to him, because he's the one who gave me the vision to even come up with this podcast. And my name of my podcast speaks for itself, because you have to endure things to even embrace them. My testimony and where I've come from, I've had to endure those things to even embrace that, to be thankful where I've come from, to be thankful that I ain't dead, you know, nowhere. And I'm just thankful that I'm able to embrace what I endured. And when God gave me that name, I was like, do I use one God or do I use two? What is it? And I use both, because you can't embrace something that you ain't even endured. And so I'm thankful for where I've come from. I'm thankful for the transformation that he's had over my life and the things that he's going to continue to do in my life. I'm so thankful and forever thankful for who God is. And y'all, I'm in love. Yo, it is. I'm in love with God. Yo, that's my man. Not like that guy, you know what I mean. He know, me and God, we got this thing, and he know what I'm be talking about. But he's still working on me. Y'all, I'm not perfect whatsoever, but I'm striving to become a better woman every single day. And yeah, that's just what it is. And that's really my testimony, y'all. I know it wasn't long outdrawn like I would have thought it would have been, and I feel like I was kind of everywhere, but not everywhere. I'm excited. It was my first podcast, and so yeah, you know. But that's my testimony. That's where I come from, and just a little bit about me. Moving forward, I do have some good things coming, and I'm super excited about where God is taking me and doors that he's going to open for me. Life's been good. God's been good to me. He's still working on me daily, y'all. And I'm just so thankful for where I'm at now. And yeah. So that is my testimony. Again, I'll forever be thankful for who he is. If you are watching this or if you're listening, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and understanding and hearing a little bit about me and my life and where I come from, and things that I've dealt with and things that I'm more than likely going to go through, because God doesn't say we ain't gonna be going through trouble. We're going to go through trials and tribulations. I understand that completely, but it's with steadfast faith that you're going to get through those trials and tribulations with the help of God by your side. So without further ado, I am going to end this podcast. Make sure you go follow all my socials. Had a little tongue tie. Cat got my tongue. But go follow my socials. My personal one is _Zwine with 2 H's _. And go follow my S.E.L.F podcast on Instagram. And yeah, make sure you tell a friend about this podcast. Make sure you share and spread the word. And God, I thank you for using me as a willing vessel to speak to your people. God, I thank you for allowing lives to be changed and souls to be saved. And I just appreciate you for who you are and what you're doing in my life, God. And I thank you for blessing those who have watched this, who are currently watching and listening. God, I ask you to put your angel protection around them. God, if they're going through anything, God, I ask you to hear their mind. God, I ask you to touch their heart, God, for any unforgiveness, God, any family issues, any mental health issues going on. Depression and anxiety and suicide must flee in the name of Jesus. And God, I thank you and I appreciate you for you being an awesome God, a loving God, a God of love and patience and kindness and gentleness. And God, we thank you for who you are. And we just give you the praise, the glory, and the honor for you being you, God. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. So y'all stay blessed. And I will see y'all in my next podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.